Welcome back to the Inverted Wanderer. Today I'm going to be cueing in a short tutorial on how to get into Salamba Sarvangasana, or shoulder stand. Before we get started, if you are someone who suffers from uncontrolled high blood pressure, recently had a stroke, any neck issues, pregnant, or on your menstrual cycle, including migraines, I ask that you kindly don't go into the full version of the pose, but rather practice the modifications that I will be telling you in just a second. So today I will go into the modifications and variations in the pose. For the practice, you will need a yoga strap set into a loop or something that can get into a loop without shoulder distance. You are going to need 2 to 3 blankets set up in this kind of like hot dog looking format. We'll stack them right on top of each other. And then we will need yoga bolsters today. So I've got one square one and a circular one. If you don't have bolsters, please get pillows, couch cushions. All of those are equivalent alternatives in case you don't have these yoga products with you. So first we'll get started with the modification. Again, this is used for anyone who has uncontrolled high blood pressure, if you're pregnant, if it is your moon cycle or your menstrual cycle. So to get into the first modification, we're going to bring our bolster. Actually, we're going to use both bolsters. So I'm going to put this up against the wall just so that it doesn't slide anywhere. Bring the other bolster here. You're going to come to, so you want to make sure that it's about hip to leg, and we're going to be lying over the edge of this bolster. So we want to bring it right to our shoulders. But before we do that, we're going to take that strap and we're going to put it around our feet, bringing it to our thighs. That way we can just fully relax in this pose and it'll be more of a restorative pose. So if you'd like, you can bring your feet all the way against the wall. And then we'll go ahead and push the bolster back a little bit. So again, you're going to come to bring your shoulder blades just off of the bolster. And then we'll come to bring our legs up onto that other bolster. Now we've got the strap around our legs so that we can let our legs just fully relax in this pose and be supported by the strap. So we want to focus on letting our shoulders droop down, relaxing our head, relaxing your feet, a little bit of a back bend, and also still inversion. So the majority of our body is above our head, which is by definition inversion when you reverse the process. So this pose is a great restorative version of shoulder stand. It's great for anyone who's on the moon cycle, anyone who's pregnant, anyone with uncontrolled high blood pressure. You can still get the same benefits of being inverted in this pose. So if that is you today, then go ahead and you can stay in this pose and relax. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and cue into some other variations of shoulder stand. So go ahead and remove that. Remove both of your bolsters as well. So now we're going to be really utilizing the wall in the beginning. So you can even use the wall if you're someone who's been practicing it for a while. It's really nice to use what you've got. So we'll go ahead and start by bringing the blankets. So stacking both of the blankets, make sure it's a nice clean kind of line right here. The same thing like what we did with the bolster, but now with the blankets. So we're going to come to bring our upper shoulders and neck just off of the blanket. So, and you will need to remove your ponytail if you have one. And you'll want to scoot up as close to the wall as you can get. Bring your butt to the wall, bring in the blankets, and then swing your legs up. And then let's get our shoulders and our neck. Remember, just off of the blankets. And if this is just going to help with the flexibility in your neck. So if you need more blankets, go ahead and stack them up. It's just going to further aid in the neck. So when we're ready, ready, we'll bring our feet to the wall, and then we'll slowly start to push into the wall. We can bring our hands to our bones, walk our elbows in towards each other. You want to make sure that you don't move your neck from side to side in this position. So from here, we can stay right here. This is a good half shoulder stand right here. I can already start to feel myself, my core turning on, my legs turning on. I'm feeling a stretch in the back of my neck. You can always try by extending one leg up and seeing how that feels, bringing that leg down and coming to extend the other one, and then bringing it back down. So another half pose for this pose would be to extend both legs out, pointing your toes back away from you. So this way you can start to feel what it feels like to get both of your legs up away from you, and slowly and with time and practice, you can start to point those toes, bringing those toes up towards the ceiling, making more of a 90-degree angle in your body. Your hands are pushing into your low back, so pushing your upper body towards your chin, and then keep extending and bringing those legs and pointing them straight up. Alright, out. We'll go ahead and walk our legs down. Remember that was an inversion, so give yourself a moment to recuperate in this pose. So the next pose is going to be a variation of it. So if you're someone who getting your feet up over your head is something that's normal, or you've been practicing this pose, then let's try working on opening up your shoulders and opening up your chest with the aid of a yoke strap. So again, you want to make the strap so it's about shoulder distance and maybe a little bit wider, because we are going to be putting our arms through it, but back behind our bodies. So you'll want to bring the strap back behind you and kind of walk the strap so it's just above your elbows. So really this is for someone who's trying to work on the flexibility of opening up their chest and opening up their shoulders. So if you have really tight chest and shoulders, you may need to open up the strap a little bit more, but this is going to help aid in, like I said earlier, walking your elbows in towards each other underneath your back. So coming to lie back down, again, bringing your neck and the tops of your shoulders just off of the blanket, and then lifting your hips up, bring the hands to the low back, your shirt if you need to. And then you can stay right here if you want to keep working on opening up your chest, right? This is half shoulder stand. And you can also try working here to see how it feels with the strap around that arms. And then when you're ready, you can keep trying to press the low back into the hands. Press and lift your feet, and you want to try and get to 90 degrees between your neck and your feet. It takes a lot of core work, and energetically pointing your toes up towards the sky is going to help. So continue to press on that low back. Continue to feel like someone is lifting you up from your toes, pulling your legs back a little bit so more of the weights can go into your hands. Make sure to relax your neck and not to move it side to side. You can stay here for as long as feels comfortable for you. And then when you're ready to come out, bend your knees, come to the wall, slowly walk down. This is our hands are tied behind our back. It's not comfortable to lay on our hands. We'll want to come up and remove that strap from underneath you. So the last variation of the pose that I'm going to do is without the aid of the wall. If you're someone who would like to practice trying to get up into this pose without the aid of the wall, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip our blankets the other way. Go ahead if you feel comfortable, if you want to continue using that strap to open up your chest. But we'll come now so that our feet are ideally would come to the wall, but we're kind of going to ignore the wall altogether, so just come into an open space. So setting up the same way we did before. Coming to bring our neck just off of the blanket and the towel, so making sure our shoulders. And then when we're ready, I kind of like to do a little hop, bringing my feet over my head to walk my elbows in. Right, so you want to keep squeezing your elbows in underneath you. And then when we're ready, go ahead and push into the low back. And when we do, we go ahead and lift our legs up over our head. Right, so our toes energetically pointing up. Our neck is relaxed. You can work on getting your elbows in towards each other a little bit more. Continue to press our hips forward, feet back away from us to try and get at 90 degrees. Make sure not to turn your head side to side in this pose. Using your core to keep your body upright. And then when you're ready, you can bring your knees into your head. Extend your feet back behind you, arms by your side, and slowly and mindfully coming back out of that pose. Again, pausing for a second after being inverted just to give your body a chance to play catch up. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side, pressing yourself back up into a seated position. So that is the tutorial with different modifications and variations on how to get into the pose. So some benefits of the pose is that it stimulates the thyroid and the parathyroid glands. So those are found right there in that low back where you're pressing into your hands. So that pressure right there stimulates those organs. It's also good for inverse processes. So our normal process, right, is head and heart over legs. In this pose, we're getting our legs above our head and our heart. So reversing that process is really good. You'll also get increased blood circulation to your brain, to your heart, to your chest, to your neck, everything in that upper body, right, being upside down. The blood runs through gravity. And overall, it's a really good pose if you've got a slight headache. I don't recommend practicing it if you have a migraine. But if you do have a slight headache, try coming into this pose with the aid of the wall to get that blood rushing back to your head. I really hope that you enjoyed this short tutorial. If you did, please tell me how you liked it down in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time on the Inverted Wanderer. Bye!